Life, Joshua, is a barter of choices and consequences. A lady by the name of Samantha Soto said those words. Life is a barter of choices and consequences. A form of slavery today. Guyana bartering our US $1 trillion blocks for a UK visa. You going to London too?
No, of course not.
Why not? You never went to London?
No, I've never been.
Well, you can get a visa free to London. All right. Namaste, guys. To all you wonderful people listening, thanks for tuning in every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's always a pleasure to sit before you, and you guys give me the opportunity to share my little wisdom with all of you. Every choice has a consequence, and every consequence has a destination. Where are we going? Our oil blocks going to the UK, and you are going nowhere. All because of the choices made by President Ali of a visa free to England, Joshua. You know, when I hear this story, you can't help it but laugh. Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister, was not working in the best interests of the British people a few months ago, and the party, his party people, gang up and say, guys, you got to go. He was forced to resign. That's only 3.5 months ago. The woman who took over from him, Liz Truss, after only 6 weeks in office, has also been forced to resign yesterday. Joshua, you hear me?
Yes.
She was forced to resign yesterday because of the things she promised to do. She was forced and she didn't do it. The things she promised to do when she took office, she began going the opposite way. The key point to note here, my fellow Guyanese, is in both cases, Prime Minister Johnson and Prime Minister Truss was removed by their own party members. This is not about voting or elections. This is about holding leaders accountable. And if you can't do the job and do it correctly, then you have to go. Vamos, get out. Those are party people who is putting their country and people's future in front of prime ministers. That is not love for individuals, uncle. That is about what is right and what is good for the people of England. Now, what is happening here in Guyana? You guys have Vice President Barra Jagdeo and President Ali, who promised to do all the right things regarding our resources, our wealth. What has happened today? Everything they're doing is wrong and the opposite to what they say or promised. The Vice President Jagdeo keep on approving projects without correcting the faults and mistakes made in the past projects. He keep on approving these projects without even increasing our share. Our share, uncle, is the same old contract he keep on giving more projects upon projects on with the same old lopsided deal. He keeps on approving new projects without giving us a chance to understand the sector, not giving us, the citizens, a chance to breathe, to learn, so that we can fit ourselves in there to make some money out of the oil deal. No. No, no. These politicians are doing absolutely nothing that will benefit our country and our people. He was asked the most simplest of questions. Is ExxonMobil thieving back that stinking 2% royalty that they're giving us? You remember what he said? He have to ask lawyers, because he doesn't want to say anything that he have to be sorry for or walk back on. He told me on this very program, Guyana is getting 50, 52, 59%, however you define it as. Yes, that's the answer he gave us as to what we get in this country. Come on, guys. Is this man still sitting down in the chair running We Future? This man can't tell us whether ExxonMobil thieving back the 2% royalty as expenses. This man can't tell us exactly what profit sharing we really getting out of this deal. And he's still sitting down there making decisions for me and you, man. Uncle? When the MPs and all of us can sit back and allow Jagdeo to run this country in this fashion, then something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong with all of us. When the media have to constantly keep banging to get production reports, to know how much oil being pumped up on a daily basis, when we have to beg like stray dogs for those mining contracts, to get the audit and review reports of these oil projects and getting nowhere, then why are we silent like this, man? Huh? Why do we keep throwing mahal around their necks like if they are our brothers and sisters when they're selling out our future? May I ask? There is no press conference. There is no word from Bara Jagdeo, from Vikram Bharat or Winston Brasington about this gas to shore project at Wales that is going to sink this country. Why do we have these leaders here? I told you guys, at 8 p.m. every night in South Africa is blackout. The whole Johannesburg goes into blackout. I am told they have corrected the situation to a reasonable state. Presently, three-quarters of Africa, in many parts of their countries, there is no electricity or even nasty drinking water for the people. I stayed in the best hotel in Zimbabwe and it stink. I wanted to move right away. But the manager told me, sir, this is the best you have in Zimbabwe. A rich country, the best hotels smelling worse than them short time place. Kenya today announced that in the next 10 years, they're hoping to have every home with electricity. Why these countries with so much wealth have to exist like this? And instead they go forward. They're going backwards. I did not go to Nigeria because of visa restrictions. But at present, Nigeria is the largest producing oil country in Africa. Ranked number 14 in the world. And huge flooding going on there. Over 1,600 done dead and millions displaced, millions homeless, living on the streets, under tarpaulins, begging for food and clean water. That same Nigeria has a debt of 108 billion American dollars and still opening their foot at the World Bank and IMF, begging for a few more billions, and can't get it for take care of the poverty in which their people living under. What more are you people waiting for in this country to see, man? Or to know that will wake you up? Those countries have been producing oil for decades. Decades. Look where they are. I told you people how Ghana have GRA officers stopping taxis on the road to make sure that the small local people pay their taxes, while the foreigners fetching out everything and nobody saying a word. Right here in Guyana, Jagdeo, President Ali and Norton have all the foreigners fetching out our gold, our diamond, our bauxite, and now our oil are not paying a cent taxes. I have to repeat this. This have to sink in your memory, Uncle and Auntie. Jagdeo approved the third and fourth projects. He didn't even ask the people or get the people to pay their taxes. To pay their taxes from the oil that will be coming out from the third and fourth projects. Knowing them carrying away the oil tax-free in Liza 1 and 2. Now he's going to approve the fifth project by December. Let's wait and see when he approves it, what we will get out of it. You know, I have to repeat these things for it to sink in your memory, Auntie. Because these things have long tragedy for all of us. You know, Uncle, I am certain nothing wrong with my head. Even though I had a mini stroke in November, nothing wrong with my head. You guys better check your heads. You know, many nights and days, I wonder what else can I do? What else can I say to wake you people up from the slumber you're in, or that deep sleep you're so comfortable in? I don't know. 2 days ago, the British High Commissioner in Georgetown waived the visa requirements to go to England. And the entire country, yes, jumping for joy, like if I have future set for life with that. If you see the comments on social media from people, you got to see it. You would believe that every Guyanese can go and scrape out a good living in London. Yes. That's the kind of comments all over social media and all across this country. Imagine we got more wealth now than England and the whole world. And instead these people talk about that on social media. They're jumping up about free visa. And in the same breath, while the woman saying, you can go to England without a visa now, my gosh, your president, our young president, Irfan Ali, talking about government-to-government partnership with oil blocks. You didn't hear that, man. Let me repeat it. When the lady announced visa-free, the speech that President Ali gave, saying that we will be doing government-to-government partnership with our oil blocks. This is what we have free visa for. Giving away your country to England, and you get to go to England on a vacation. This is what we leaders see to negotiate as fair exchange. Visa. The coalition give away the whole Stabroek block and get 2%. Them this. President Ali giving away we oil blocks to give you all visa free. My God. And President Ali telling the Guyanese people, y'all mustn't take advantage on the visa free. My God. When I hear these people speak sometimes, when I hear the words that come out of their mouth, like I asked the last time, who writing this speech for these leaders that when they talk? Uncle and auntie, when I hear things like this, I see Africa all over again in this country, and even worse. At least Africa did get better deals, and they are poor because of their large population. But what is happening here is 1,000,000 times worse than what went on in any other place on earth. Guyana swapping oil blocks for visa. Are you ever hear anything like this? Huh? This country, uncle, is in more trouble than any one of us could ever dream of. I know some of you dreaming of a good future. Y'all better start dreaming of the troubled future that lies ahead. Honestly, I had to pinch myself. To make sure I wasn't dreaming when I heard they waived the visa requirements and Ali telling and Ali talking about government to government bartering of oil blocks with countries. Yes, I had to pinch myself. Is this what Guyana has come to? Visa for oil blocks? Y'all living in blackouts, drinking stinking and dirty water, can barely patch some of the roads we're driving on, can't eat a proper meal, and jumping up for joy about a visa? Huh? You know, don't think y'all can go there and live, you know. There's no work. And if you only overstay a day in England, your own family calling the immigration to put you on the plane the next day. Yes. England is not like America and Canada. Your family does get pay to report you if you overstay. And just to let you know, all of you who boasting about jumping on the plane, come November when the visa free come into effect, no company, or I should say any company who hire you, can be charged and go to jail. So don't think you're going to go there and catch your hand or overstay. Take out your mind and stay right here. Fight for what? What can really give you a great life? Your oil. Fight for that. It's sad that the politicians of this country are still so much in love with our former slave masters, that a visa will make them enslave all of us all over again. They had enslaved us in chains back in the days and exploited the resources of this nation. Today, you're not going to be enslaved and exploited by chains, but with the offer of visa-free travel. That's how you're being exploited and enslaved. Please always remember this. Evil never takes a holiday. Evil always works. And evil at work here in this country with those foreigners. Uncle and auntie, every foreign country sitting down, planning and scheming how to give you a toy in exchange for a visa to make your eyes grow big. Yes, that's what they do. Scheming how to give you a visa and make your eyes pop out. Yes. While they empty in your wardrobe, your bank book and your future. Do you guys have a clue how these foreign countries and their leaders just sit around tables every day and plot how to make us smile while they rob us? Yeah, man. Yeah. They just did that with a visa free for your oil blocks and to open the gates for their people to come in and take over the businesses right here, pushing people like me and you out of our own country. Look, British Airways coming here in March of 2023. All these donkey years, we couldn't even get a flap hat to come to Guyana. Suddenly, I find oil. The money is here. The honey is here. Everything is here. Everybody want to come. Them oil company, Lall, one of the giants, already in the oil fields. And every other thing will follow to scrape the hair off your heads and give you a visa to England. Yes. They're going to scrape the hair off of your head and give you a visa for go catch coal in England. If or when you can afford the tickets. They will fetch away 10 generations of wealth. And what will be left for your generations? What will be left for them? To go see London Bridge and what in England look like with your wealth. With the same visa-free requirement. That is what they did to the entire Africa and Asia. Now, every day, boatload upon boatload of Africans and Asians are dying like ants trying to get to the seashores of Europe and North America to see what their money have done to those countries. Yes, the skyscrapers, the African and Asian wealth built in their countries. And they can't get there. They're dying like fleas just to go there and see because they can't get a visa. This is exactly what will happen with our generations to come. They will be just like those African and Asians, risking their lives across the Atlantic Ocean to go to those countries to see what your oil money built for them. Let me share this story with you guys. In the 1980s, Trinidad was on top of the world with loud oil money flowing into the homes of every citizens of that country. I used to wear 25 gold chains around my neck, wrapped as one, to go hustle in Trinidad. I would sell out all of it in one day, pick up my goods, and back to Guyana the next day. All the bars, listen to this carefully, all the bars, the rum shops, would be filled by 8 a.m. in the morning. 8 a.m. Something unheard of in Guyana at the time. That's how good the Trinis had it back in the 80s. All across Trinidad, the hotels, the restaurants, the stores were all doing bright, bright, bright business. Port of Spain, the city, was so crowded that you got to hold hands with those who you're walking with so as to not to lose each other. Yeah, difficult to find back, so you got to hold hand to walk in Port of Spain. That's how busy the city was back in those days. Every day was like Christmas Eve in Guyana. Every single day was like Christmas in Trinidad. I see that with my own eyes. Yes. I see crazy men, these little mad or crazy men, walk in the bars begging. And every one of the men sitting at that table would take out $100 TT and give them. It shocked me. You know why, uncle? Because one of the fine gold chain I used to carry, I used to sell it for $100 and $150. Who a catch, you know? That is how money was flowing in Trinidad back in the 80s. That you could be in the bar drinking and men taking out $100 and give beggars. And not one of them, all of them taking out $100 and give. Don't talk about visa, US visa. When them apply for a US visa, the US embassy in Trinidad at the time, didn't give them 5, 10, and 20-year visa. They used to give them Trini indefinite multiple visas. That means till you're dead, you can go to America. Even the beggars had indefinite multiple visa at the time, man. Life was so good for the Trinis that nobody wanted to go live anywhere else but in Trinidad. Today, tables turned. Today, everything done. The Trini running all over now to live. To find anywhere they could hang their hats. That's how Trini has become. Back in the 80s, you had none Trini in New York. You didn't have them. Today, they are about the same amount as we people living in Queens. Go and see for yourself or ask your families. If I lie, you must have got more training now in New York, more than Guyanese. To get a US visa at the time in Guyana is like pulling out teeth without cocaine. And I mean jar teeth without cocaine. With the amount of proof you have to show the embassy that you're not going to run away. Yeah, man. I am telling you this, uncle and auntie, because I myself, as a young man, was refused a US visa in Guyana and went to Trinidad a few months after, hearing how US visa giving away in Trinidad. And my first US visa was issued right there in Trinidad. Yes, right there in Trinidad. Today, the oil and gas dry up. Money not there. Rum shops empty, hotels empty. Stores empty. Port of Spain, you can walk freely. And the trainees can't get a visa, even if they're up and dying. Today, I share this experience with all of you because I want you guys to know and understand that this is the beginning of where Guyana will be with our children after the oil and the other resources are completed, are finished. Finito. Yes. This no visa requirement from the UK is the beginning of the enticement, of the sweetness to make you feel good. Don't be surprised if you hear next year that the US and Canada join England in flinging open their doors to all Guyanese visa-free. Don't be surprised. These are the kind of distractions, the tricks, and cheap incentives. Yes, visa for your wealth. Visa for your wealth. Please wake up. Please stand up and speak out. I keep saying, you people in danger, and I really don't know what else to do. I really don't know what else to say. Jagdev is going to approve the 5th project for ExxonMobil in December. Ali and Norton will not say a word, knowing that they haven't even checked and verify the investments and expenses for Liza 1, 2, 3, and 4 as yet. Wow. None of them can tell us the interest rate we're paying on those billions for those 4 projects. They can't tell us for sure if Exxon taking back the 2 cents, are you getting as royalty? They can't tell you exactly what percentage of profit you are getting, or how they're calculating it. How they're calculating it before sharing profit. We don't know these things. And they're going to approve more projects. And all you guys sit down listening to Lall every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I don't know if I am listening and go to sleep and forget what Lall said. I don't know. I really don't know. Diwali is Monday. It's a celebration of light over darkness. Good over evil. Right over wrong. What are we celebrating? More darkness? More evil? More wrongs? Is this how you people will be thanking the Almighty for the great blessings He has bestowed on us? Huh? By the way, let me tell you people, my father was a staunch Hindu and my mother a Muslim. I went to the mandir and the mosque, plus the churches. So don't think Lall doesn't have the right to speak what I am talking about here. I know right from wrong, and I know light from darkness, and I know good from evil. And evil going on in this country. Pure evil. You know, I refuse to say Happy Diwali to any one of you. Not to this darkness and evil y'all allowing to flourish in this land. And you don't have to listen to this program if you're upset with me. I'm fine with that. Sitting down and allowing the leaders to swap your souls with your oil blocks. Our future for a visa? Huh? Is this what we turn to? Is this the rightful spirit that should be in every one of you lighting those diyas and say y'all celebrating Diwali? Huh? Christmas is coming. And that also represents brightness and goodness. Is this how you guys will celebrate them? When plenty of our brothers and sisters can't buy a tray of eggs to make a pound of black cake? Or you are going to fly it from England with a visa-free requirement? I'm just asking. I'm talking about England, uncle. Let's go back to the Prime Minister that had to resign. What she said, only after sitting down in the chair for 6 weeks. Only 6 weeks. Please listen very carefully. How she said she was selected to lead the country from out of a bad crisis, and that she did not deliver. And as such, she's tendering her resignation. You're going to listen, you're going to hear her. You're going to hear her, how she did not deliver, and as such, she's resigning. You have played a tape for them, please.
I came into office at a time of great economic and international instability. Families and businesses were worried about how to pay their bills. Putin's illegal war in Ukraine threatens the security of our whole continent, and our country has been held back for too long by low economic growth. I was elected by the Conservative Party with a mandate to change this. We delivered on energy bills and on cutting national insurance. And we set out a vision for a low-tax, high-growth economy that would take advantage of the freedoms of Brexit. I recognise, though, given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party. This morning I met the chairman of the 1922 committee, Sir Graham Brady. We've agreed that there will be a leadership election to be completed within the next week. This will ensure that we remain on a path to deliver our fiscal plans and maintain our country's economic stability and national security. I will remain as Prime Minister until a successor has been chosen. Thank you.
She began by saying she knew that the British people can't pay their bills. Your oil blocks will be paying the bills for them very soon. You can't pay your bills, and you're not saying anything, and you're not fighting nothing. I love this country. I gotta love this country. You know, the woman said, you heard her. I recognized that given the situation, I cannot deliver what I promised and what was expected of me, and tendered her resignation. This is what real leaders do when they can't do the right thing for their people. And you know who made her resign, Uncle? Auntie? She own member of parliament. Some of them walked off and started booing her when she began doing the opposite of what she had promised. Yes. Yes. Isn't the same thing happening in this country, man? Huh? Jagdeo made big promises when he was in the opposition, how he will right all the wrongs of the coalition, especially with the oil contract. And when he is confronted, sitting in the seat, he plays all kinds of devious games night and day with us. Let me repeat this, man. This man should never be a clerk in any government department, much less a vice president running the affairs, this $1 trillion oil sector in this country. Lall is saying that. This man has failed with every single thing he puts hand on. And y'all still have him there. He is Guyana's biggest problem, Uncle and Auntie. He is the one that is misleading President Ali and the others into doing all the wrongs to this country and all of us. That woman said she had not delivered. What has Jagdeo delivered to this country since he took office? And all the days when he was president? Nothing. Absolutely nothing but failures and disasters. I don't have to repeat the failures. They are staring you people in your faces. Just look around. Just look around. Look around if you have lights, meaning GPL. That is one of the failures and disaster. I thought when he come on the program, he would have answered that question. What has he done that he's proud of, or any Guyanese is proud of during his tenure in office? What has he delivered to this country that he can clap, so that we can clap our hands and smile about? What? Huh? Name something for me, man. Absolutely nothing but disaster upon disaster. The 2 oil blocks, Kaieteur and Kanji. Yes, I had to pay Donald Ramotar $25 million because the court said that I slander him when he gave away the 2 oil blocks free to people that say they never meet and they never know. I pay him his money. Yes. You giving away $1 billion US oil blocks that can pay off this country's debt we have. And you don't know people. And you never meet them. And you never see them. Wow. The same two oil blocks that Jagdeo promised an investigation into. Where is it? Where is it, uncle? He promised on this same program with me before all of you that he will send the information of the beneficial owners. Yes, the beneficial owners, the people who really getting the money out of the two oil blocks. We are still waiting on it. Glenn Lall still waiting on it. And I'm still waiting the same way for the mining contracts he promised. You know what he's going to deliver? Let me tell you guys. More oil projects, more oil blocks, more mining and timber license to the foreigners with more tricks in them, with much, much more disasters to come our way. That's what he will deliver. That's what he keeps on doing. This is what Jagdeo is made out of. Disaster and tragedy. The national culture, uncle and auntie, the national culture of thievery and criminality, of lies and tricks, deceptiveness, all flourished under his leadership. Check back the records and you will see the long list of financial crimes committed against every citizen of this land. I can name them, but I don't have time to list them. And yet, some of you just puja him and treat him like some kind of genius or some kind of holy individual. This can't be a real country. If it was, nothing like Jagdeo could have lasted for 1 month. Not with what he's doing. And if he was a real leader with 1 ounce of decency, he would pack his bag and leave Guyana and never return. Not for what I have seen for the last 30 years in this country. No, man. Can't give a nation the basic things that an idiot can fix overnight. Clean drinking water, a steady supply of electricity, supply of basic things like medicines, no proper medical facilities with hundreds of millions of US dollar loans. They're borrowing only to thief out trick water. Basic thing like drinking water, electricity and medicine, uncle. They didn't give us, they didn't fix over 30 years in this country, man. What else they could give us? Another 30 years will come and Guyana will remain the same way without clean drinking water and electricity. The gas shore project, they're going to spend almost $2 billion American dollars. That's 2/3 of Guyana that we have right now. And guess what? The grid, the power lines, right across this country rotten. Poor us. Poor us. They're not fixing that. They're not correcting that. That alone can help the power supply in Guyana presently, because we are losing more than 30% out of that rotten lines. Yes, they're not fixing that. They're going and build a brand new $2 billion plant. I don't know where they're going to run the current. Or how they're going to distribute the current, I should say, not run it. Maybe you got to help me with words to find, to let me know where they're going to distribute it and how they're going to distribute it. Oh my gosh. Oh. You mean to God Almighty. We got some God-fearing, decent and well-educated people in Parliament. You mean to tell me that none of them can raise their voice against what is happening in this land, man? And tell Jack Dale to his face that he has gone too far with this nation and that he's destroying the present and future with his actions? Come on, man. You mean none of them can tell him to stop? I refuse to believe that. And I also refuse to believe that you people can do the same whenever he come wrong, y'all. Shout at him and tell him to change his ways. You can do that. That's your right. Leaders are answerable to you. Governments only exist because of you. The will of the people. And they are supposed to look out. They are supposed to look out for you at all times. Your interests should come first. The future of this country should be on their lips. You are staining your fingers for them. And let them know they have to deliver. They have a duty to deliver. Deliver to you. Not just their friends, their families and foreigners, but for you, uncle, for you, auntie. I know I am the biggest enemy in this country. Yes. I am the biggest enemy to all the thieves and criminals. But I am very much okay living that life. I could never be a thief or encourage thieves. And all the politicians know that. So my mouth can't stop calling them thieves. Today we carry a headline and I had to smile with a boat. $200 million they're setting aside to rehabilitate 4 small boats. The $200 million can buy 4 brand new boats, the same size. This is what they're doing to you people. But I don't have the time to tell you people. Every day we report so much in the Kaieteur News. It's unbearable and unbelievable. Every day. A special program this week to list some of the things what they're doing with your money. Paying those people that food salary and thieving out billions. Come on. It's not fair. The British are already ahead of the game as they're moving to secure we Isle Blacks for nothing. Yeah, man. Stamping 1 and 2 Guyanese passport whenever they can. Whenever they can afford to go there for a vacation. Yes. This is how the politicians selling out the country and all of us. Like cheap W's of the street. All for what? All for what? For somebody's benefits. Yes. The Chinese are the kingpin for that. They're the best thing for corrupt governments and open secret bank accounts all over the world for politicians. I just tell you now. Uncle, countries prosper when they have honest, trusted, decent and credible leaders. Countries fail when they have thieves, rogues and liars for leaders. It's time you guys decide. Decide for yourself what kind of leaders y'all have here and what kind of future you guys seeing. Oh. Should I say more? Should I say more, man? I took the government to court for ExxonMobil to pay their taxes. And ExxonMobil applied to the court saying that they want to be a party to the case. Pat Salt. 2 months ago, 2 other Guyanese, Radzik and Henry, moved to the High Court to quash the Liza 1 permit that Jagdev and the EPA had renewed for the oil companies. ExxonMobil gone again. Yes, they're gone again to the High Court to join this case too. The High Court give them 14 days to file their defense. Just to let you know. Just to let you know. They will hire the best lawyers. The oil companies will hire the best lawyers. Pay them fat money. Dora. And guess whose pockets that money will be coming out of? Your pocket. Yes, my pocket. Every Guyanese pocket. It will be coming out from our oil. That will shorten your little profit. I shouldn't even say profit, I should say profit. Do have a good night. This is what Guyana has turned to with your own wealth. Your government breaking the laws to enrich the foreigners. And when we move to the court, the foreigners want to defend their enrichment as if the parents left it here for them. Oh my. Oh my. Chad president has declared a state of emergency with the massive flooding in the country. That happened today. 2.1 million people are struggling with hunger in Chad, causing a huge increase in the number of children hospitalized with malnutrition. In Nigeria, widespread flooding has killed more than 1,600 people. The flood affected 27 of Nigeria's 36 states and has caused over 1.4 million people to be homeless as I speak here. The flooding has blocked food and fuel supplies from getting to many of the affected villages and towns. Yeah, man. Pakistan, the latest death toll stands at 1,700 people, with more than 33 million people affected by what was described as a monsoon. The World Bank said Pakistan will need about $40 billion to recover. Haiti is in crisis with shortages of food, fuel, and clean drinking water, causing devastating hunger. Over 4 million people are affected there. Hospitals have either shut their doors or reduced their operations because they cannot get fuel to power the generators. The government, the Asian government, is pleading for military assistance from overseas. In Somalia, extreme drought is causing terrible suffering. Over 8 million Somalis are in urgent need of help, with young children, most at risk of hunger and malnutrition. That's half the population. Yes, all because of climate change. Thousands of people on the move in search of food, rising sea levels, and devastating floods are wreaking havoc in Bangladesh. Water is destroying crops and homes, man, all because of the global warming. Lebanon is now going through the worst economic crisis in its history. 80% of the population lives below poverty line. Yes. In 1 year, food prices have jumped 500% due to inflation in Lebanon. An 11-year-old in Somalia weighing 30 pounds. Yes. A 6-year-old baby weigh 5 kilos. That is what is going on in the world today. Wait and see a flood. Wait and see a flood. It's coming. Right here in Guyana. Right here in Guyana. And the oil box. Yes. Are you swapping for visa? Oil blocks that worth billions of American dollars, swapping for visa-free requirement. Are you going to see what will happen to our own brothers and sisters in this land? With that, I say good night and namaste.